So last year, we were scheduled to have this speaker, Adryenn, speak. And I remember when I had to tell people Adryenn couldn't make it because she got locked down in Vegas for a quarantine, I had a very angry audience. So congratulations, everybody. Although she missed last year, one of my favorite and most funny people involved in anything having to do with blockchain, Web3, NFTs. Adryenn, we cannot wait for you to come and make us laugh. Yeehaw.
Energy! Energy, energy, we've got lots of energy. Sorry, 16 years of cheerleading, I can't help it. And also, there's no business like show business. Is this the 8 or not? Just amazingly fabulous and wonderful. So what we are talking about today, it's going to be fun. It's Socialeconometrics, and I'm pretty darn sure you're not supposed to have words with that many letters because it gets complicated. But what we're going to focus on, what's next? Like, the world is changing. Everything that we've done in marketing is about to not matter, really. I mean, cookies are going away. No more retargeting. I used to be the queen of cookie stuffing back in the early internet marketing days when I pretended to be a boy because girls weren't allowed. And there's all sorts of techniques that were fabulously, successfully wonderful at advertising. But advertising is going away because now it's all going to be permissioned. Why? Because we get to own our data. So how are we going to navigate and go viral when you can't pay someone who's been aggregating all of that data about you against your will or without your permission, just surreptitiously? Do you know they have over 30,000 data points? 30,000. Have you ever gotten your LexisNexis file? Now, a friend of mine actually runs one of those data aggregation companies, so I have a little insight into this. But I ordered my LexisNexis. It was 324 pages of 4-point font. It had my security clearances from when I was in the Army when I was 18. And it had my address when I was 3. Cradle to grave. They're tracking, they're tracing, and they want to convert. But now with Web3, I have to let them. I have to say it's okay. I have to give them permission to know things about me. But we have to keep in mind, they're not going to delete the data because we don't live in England. There's no GDPR. And you'd have to contact every single place where they got that data in the first place to say, forget me. Nobody's ever going to forget you. You're all unforgettable, so are your projects. You are never, ever going to be forgotten, but here's how you are going to be remembered. And here's the super secret tactic that I used for decades: attraction marketing. The whole point is you want people to want to be with you, to want to talk about you, right? Musicians have a hard time. We have all of these social media platforms. A friend of mine's a rapper, pretty good one, generated 350,000 people. Fans on Instagram, and then Instagram decided they didn't like that he went live so often and deleted his account. He didn't have a way to touch any of those people, to reach out to any of those people. So this is what Web3 is going to do for us. See, it's not just that we get to own an NFT and we own that asset. That asset is a tie back to us. It's more of like a marriage than ownership, right? When you own an NFT in a community, you are a part of that community. If you're an influencer and you have an NFT community, then they own a piece of you too. They have rights with you just like you have rights with them. So when we're marketing and when we're building these communities, we need to make sure that the tokenomics work. Well, the best way to do that is to add value and give utility. So imagine you're this musician, right? You've got a big community. You do AMAs every month. You can push notify them when you have a concert. So it's like Dallas plus 50 miles or Dallas plus 100 miles. Hey, we're doing a pop-up. You get tickets before American Express Black Card holders. That's a benefit. Isn't that a benefit? If they decide they don't like your community, they can leave. But in the meantime, you get all of the benefit of them participating and owning with you. So how many people here have a project? Okay. Is it 101s? Music? PFPs? PFPs? We like PFPs. Something else? Utility? DAO? DAOs? Any DAOs? I love DAOs. DAOs are really interesting, but we have to make sure we don't repeat the past mistakes, right? So what's the point of having a DAO if it's literally just a stock swap for a token? Anybody can buy their way into the majority and ruling class. That doesn't help, right? So I heard this pitch the other day, and it was called an MDAO, and it's a meritocracy DAO, where, say, the person who goes to the soup kitchen 3 times a year does not have as much say as the person who goes 3 to 4 times a week. That seems fair, right? I thought that was brilliant. So creating the tokenomics and the structures, the other piece of this to make sure that what you're doing isn't going to fail, that you aren't going to accidentally rug or run out of tokens or accidentally have designed a Ponzi. You need to algorithmically, through an AI, run scenarios on the test net. What happens if Bitcoin goes to $1? What happens if Ethereum goes to $1? What happens if your transactions slow down? If your actual structure relies on the value of your token or the value of another token in order to survive, it's not going to survive. So what is the underlying business model? How are you generating money? How are you generating revenue that you could then use to, in your token, create a rainfall of rewards for your holders? But it has to be a real business model first. There has to be a real revenue model first. There has to be something that people want. We have a lot of these projects out there that are trying to tokenize real estate. And Monica Profit went out. She's Rise Markets. She went out and she decided she's going to go where there already is a market, where there already is everything, and tokenize a piece of that to get in. Because now she doesn't have to create an entire new sector. There's already billions of dollars waiting to be put into the process and put into the tokenization process. So what is it that you're doing, and how is it going to survive? I wish we had a timing clock here, because I don't even know. I guess they're going to just keep me out here until they come and take me off and I get the piggyback ride. But the number one thing, when you can't cookie the people, how are you going to, right? The cookies were to bribe them and to track them and to attract the mice. You want to make sure that what you do is so fun, they have to be with you. Make sense? And if you're in a DAO, 2 pieces of advice for a DAO. You want to make sure that you tell them, you create it as a DAO in the very beginning, so people are not surprised later that they might actually have to participate and contribute because they thought they were just going to sit back and like rake in the dough. So you want to make sure that you tell them ahead of time that there's going to be participatory rewards. And the other thing is make sure you have a solid constitution. And whoever the leadership participants are, you need to have in writing contracts of expectations and what people are going to do. You don't want to be surprised. One of the things that I used to do, I don't know if you guys know my backstory, I kind of made a naughty dating app for good girls that gets women laid by putting consent on the blockchain. It was really fun because women need safety, security, and certainty to say yes. And what I'm realizing is it's not just women. Everybody does now. Everybody expects privacy and transparency, but we also want to be safe, and we want to keep our I call them civilians. We want to keep all of our community members safe. Discord is not necessarily safe, so be careful about that. I went on a tangent with the whole sex thing. I don't know why I went on a tangent with the sex thing. Do you remember why I went on a tangent with the sex thing? Nope. Okay, so safety, security, and certainty to say yes, tracking. Contracts, yes, prenups. So that was the thing that I did before. That was prenups. When you have when you basically negotiate, I wrote a book called Every Single Girl's Guide to Her Future Husband's Last Divorce. And it was literally the prenup guide to getting into your 50-year wedding anniversary. So if you think that figuring out how to write a contract on how you're going to break up is going to make you break up, you're wrong. It's actually exactly the opposite, right? So you negotiate, what are you going to do? Okay, if you get off track, how are you going to get back on track? And if you do really, 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 really blow it and decide, yeah, we hate each other, how are you going to gracefully exit? Do all of those things before you don't like each other, and you will have a much more successful any kind of project. So, what kind of projects? Who do we have in the house? What kind of projects are we doing? Shout it out. You're tokenizing a yacht? Oh my goodness. Okay, so that is total KYC AML security for sure. So like a timeshare. That's interesting. Ooh, that's where we get in trouble, this lending. Yeah, synthetics and DeFi, that's always fun, right? That's why I was saying you want to make sure that whatever your business is, it is an actual business. Oh, now he wants off. No, I want the piggyback ride now. But you want to make sure your business actually makes
Who
money.
wants to see Adryenn jump my back while I ride the one wheel?
Okay.
What if she gets hurt? It's going to be your fault.
No, I don't have to jump. See, I can just.
I don't know. It felt like a good idea before you got in the chair and wanted to do it.
I'm right here. I mean, I don't weigh that much.
That's true.
I don't. I'm a tiny human. But I'm
just the
taller
right
than you
size
now.
for you.
I'm just the right size for me. Well, now I'm the right size because I'm used to wearing heels. I felt very short in flat shoes.
Can we give Adryenn a hand? You're so funny and intelligent and full of great wisdom. Let's thank Adryenn for being here. You want to jump? You want to try it? I don't think it's...
No, I don't. No, we'll do that in private.
All right, everybody. Adryenn, thank you.
Thank you.